Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jai Hind, Namaskar. So I hope I am properly audible and visual to all of you. Good evening. So I hope I am properly audible and visual to all of you. Okay. So I welcome you all to this session of Daily Current Affairs. And let's start today's session. Now, the first thing which we can see from here, the topics which we are going to discuss in today's session. Let us see that what are the topics which we are going to discuss. First topic is related to International Energy Agency. Second topic is related to National Monetization Pipeline 2.0. Third topic is with respect to HPV vaccine. Fourth topic is related to Khejri tree. Fifth topic is related to name change Keralam. And the sixth topic is there, Data Act versus RTI. So these are the topics which we are going to discuss in today's session. So we will be discussing all these topics in today's session. So I welcome you all to this session. And let's start with solving some of the questions. तो कुछ questions को solve करते हैं. First of all, we have this one question. The strength of election commission is determined by the parliament. The election commissioners can be removed in the same manner as the judge of a Supreme Court. So which of them are correct? Which of the statements given above are correct? Good evening. So you have to tell this. The first one is saying that the strength of election commission is determined by the parliament. Second is saying this, that the election commissioners can be removed in the same manner as the judge of a Supreme Court. Yes, Anshika, please ask. C option, A option. So two answers are there. Some people are saying C option, some people are saying B option, D option and A also. चारों आंसर है. If you look at this, the strength of election commission is decided by the President of India, not by the Parliament. First one is incorrect. And the election commissioners can be removed simply on the advice of CAC, on advice of Chief Election Commissioner. So this election commissioners, they can be simply removed on the advice of Chief Election Commissioners. So that's why second option is incorrect. The correct answer will be option number D. A stem cell can be used to cure any genetic disorder. Stem cells are being used for plastic surgery. Stem cells are unipotent in nature. नहीं, in agriculture case there is no problem. एग्रीकल्चर में आपका इनकम है नहीं है, देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम. बोलना कि एग्रीकल्चर इज इन लॉस, हम जितना लगाते हैं उससे ज़्यादा तो हमारा जितना खर्च होता है उससे कम हमारी उपज होती है. द प्रोडक्टिविटी इज लेसर देन द इन्वेस्टमेंट विच वी मेड इन एग्रीकल्चर. वी कैन सिंपली से दैट देयर इज नो एग्रीकल्चर. डोंट वरी अबाउट इट. If there is agriculture, you don't have to worry. B option, C option, A option, B option. Chalo, let's see this. Stem cell can be used to cure any genetic disorder. This is incorrect. It is the extreme word, any genetic disorder. It can be used for some of them, but not all. Second part, stem cells are being used for plastic surgery. This one is correct. Stem cells are unipotent in nature. This one is incorrect. Unipotent means it can divide only into one type of cell. But when we talk about the stem cells, they don't just divide in one type of cell. They can divide in all the different type of cells. Hence they are called as either we can call as multipotent. Some of the stem cells are even like totipotent, means all type of cell. So they are multipotent to totipotent. correction form open हो गया है. I have not seen it, but if it has been opened, then all the best. जिनको correct करना है. So here the correct answer is option number A. Consider the following statement: disease diagnosis, development of new vaccines, antibiotic development, creation of synthetic genome. In the present times, how many of the following can be done by artificial intelligence system? How many of them can be done by the artificial intelligence system in the present times? So that is question number 3. Question number 3 is there. How many of things can be done by artificial intelligence system at present? Just 1 second. Okay. So if we look at this, disease diagnosis, yes. Development of new vaccine, yes. Antibiotic, yes. Creation of synthetic genome, yes. All these things can be done with the help of AI in the present times. All 4 things are possible in the present times by the help of AI system. So here the correct answer is going to be, the correct answer in this case is going to be option number D, that is all 4. So that is our question number 3. Now we are coming to the next part. We are coming to this next part, International Energy Agency. We have this next part, International Energy Agency. Why this is there in the news? How to use stem cell in plastic surgery? In plastic surgery, we are using skin transplant, we are using tissue transplant. There we can use the stem cell. There we can use the stem cell. That is the use of stem cell therapy in plastic surgery. Okay, Shankar. Now coming to this one part, IEA. What is the context? Like, see, India wants to join this. India wants to join this IEA, International Energy Agency. Now the question is, why India wants to join this? Why India want to join this? See, if we look at the global economy right now, we see that India is one of the major consumers of energy resources, be it oil, be it natural gas. India is one of the major consumer. We see that we are one of the major consumer. We are one of the major consumer of fossils. In fact, we are one of the major exporter of petroleum products. So refined petroleum is being exported by India, and India is one of the major exporter of this refined petroleum. So we are one of the major exporter also, we are one of the major consumer also. So we want a stake, we want a global voice in case of energy security, in case of energy affordability, in case of energy prices, in case of energy politics. We want a stake over there, we want a position over there. That is why India aims to become the member of International Energy Agency. Now, if we talk about this agency, it was established in 1974. And why? Due to the global oil crisis which was there in this 1973. So after the 1973 oil crisis, this one organization was formed. If we look at this, it is an intergovernmental body which is working on global energy security and policy, and now even on climate change and energy transition. So this is a global intergovernmental body working for energy security and even the transition towards the clean energy. So this is one of the major organizations of energy cooperation in the world. Right now, if we talk about this, it has got 32 plus 1 member. It has got 33 members. Colombia, it has also become the 33rd member of this International Energy Agency. Now, there is one of the preconditions. There is a precondition for becoming a member of IEA. There is a precondition for becoming a member of IEA. There is a prerequisite or a precondition. What is that precondition? A country must be member of OECD, member of Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development. So one of the requirements for becoming a member of this IEA is that a country must be first a member of Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development. कि अगर आप इसके मेंबर हो तभी आप IEA के मेंबर बन सकते हो. So this is one part. We see that there is a prerequisite, there is a requirement that you must become a member of OECD if you want to become a member of IEA. Now, India is not a member here. India is not a party to this OECD. And India doesn't have an intention of becoming a member of this OECD. India doesn't want to become part of any other group. We simply want to be a member of IEA. So now there is a discussion going on that IEA is going to amend its rule. Maybe it will make an amendment to this rule that there is a prerequisite, or it may make an exception for India. Many of the leaders of IEA are already talking about this. They are saying that yes, India needs to become a member of this IEA. But since India is not ready to join this OECD, there might be a change in the policy of this IEA, and then India might be able to become a member of this organization in upcoming few years. So that's why this one is there in the news. In 2015, this has opened associate membership to non-OECD country. And in October 2023, India has even submitted a request. Right now, we are an associate member. We are an associate member of this OECD. But now we want to become a full-time member. We want to become a full-time member so that we can also influence the global energy policy. Now see, there is a very important concept which is associated with this organization. There is a very important concept which is related with this one agency, IEA. IEA mandates that there should be a 90 days of reserve of the oil for meeting the requirements of a country. Suppose example, we are using 1 ton, let's say we are using 1 ton fossil fuel per day. So IEA says that, the International Energy Agency, it says that you must have 90 ton stock. You must have a stock of 90 ton. आपके पास 90 टन का स्टॉक होना चाहिए. You must have a strategic petroleum reserve. You must have a strategic petroleum reserve of a minimum of 90 days. There are some countries having more than 130 days, 150 days also. There are some countries which are having like a full 11 months, 12 months also. There are certain countries who have maintained a stock of more than 10, 12 months also. So there is a requirement that you must have, there is a standard of IEA that there must be a 90 days stock. It is not a condition, it is a standard which IEA wants its member to maintain. IEA is asking its member to maintain a 90 days standard, a 90 days stock of the fossil fuel. If we talk about India right now, that how much stock we do have, see, we have got 3 underground vaults. Okay. Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh, which is having 1.33 million tons. Mangaluru, which is having 1.5 million tons. And Padur in Karnataka, which is having 2.5 million tons of oil. But this is like 10 days of oil need of India. You can imagine from here that like this 4 plus 1, almost 5.5 million ton. 5.5 million ton is stock for just about 10 days for India. So we need to construct almost 9 times more than this. We need to construct almost 9 times more than this, than the one which we are having. We need to increase it by 9 times. We see that there are certain other things, phase 2 expansion, which will have 4 million ton in Chandikol in Odisha. And then we will reach to a 21 day. Then we will be able to reach a 21 day oil need for India. But even if we do that, we are still far away from that target of 90 days of oil reserves. So we need to invest heavily in this strategic petroleum reserve building. We are trying to acquire some offshore facility also. We are trying to build even a strategic petroleum reserve in Sri Lanka for India. OECD में इंडिया क्यों नहीं ज्वाइन करना चाहता? देखो, सी, there are many such organizations which requires you to open up your agriculture sector, change your patent rules, change your multiple tariff rules and all. So if we are becoming a party to OECD or others, then these parts will also be affected. Clear? We can minimize our use. Dekho, ideally, if we talk about the ideal world, then ideal world, we should be decreasing our fossil fuel consumption. In ideal world, we should be decreasing our fossil fuel consumption. But in the real world, in the real politics, of course, environment is being hampered by oil reserves and all. But then if you have to compete in the present world, you have to do these things. You have to make a strategic petroleum reserves. So this is one part. Coming to the next section, national monetization pipeline. So there is one thing called as asset monetization. There is one thing called as asset monetization. Asset monetization. So can you tell me what is this asset monetization? Any idea about this? Can you give me any idea what is asset monetization? Can you give me an example of it? NMP 1.0 was launched way back in 2020-21. There is a concept called as asset monetization. Let me explain it to you by taking an example. Suppose that we have a Delhi-Agra expressway. Let's say, take an example. Delhi-Agra expressway is there. Suppose that UP government, or let's say NHAI, National Highway Authority of India, has constructed this. National Highway Authority of India has constructed this. So now what it tries to do, it is trying to monetize this asset. It is not transferring the asset, it is monetizing this asset. How monetize? let's say it says that from 2025 to 2030, we are providing the toll collection facility. We are providing the toll collection rights. And let's say NHI has a demand. NHI has a demand that give us 1 lakh crore rupees. Give us 1 lakh crore rupees. And then for the next 10 years, collect the toll. Give us 1 lakh crore rupees, and then after that, for the next 10 years, this is your highway. Collect the toll as you want. That now you're free for the next 10 years, whatever the toll amount is there, that is yours. So give us an initial investment of 1 lakh crore rupees. After that, whatever you collect, आपका collection 1.5 लाख करोड़ हो या 50,000 करोड़ हो, that is entirely yours. That is entirely yours. You are getting 1.5 lakh, you are getting 2 lakh crore, whatever with the money, that will be yours. We need this 1 lakh crore rupees, and after 10 years, we will take back this road from you. Then after, the toll will be coming to the government. So this is one option of how the asset is being monetized. We are not selling it directly, but we are monetizing this asset. We are monetizing this asset. So this is one of the methods. Okay. So now we see that there is the asset monetization plan for 2025-30. And there is a potential of 17.72 lakh crore rupees. Okay. Government has a plan. Government has a plan to raise about 16.72 lakh crore rupees from this asset monetization plan. And under this plan, there will be a 5-year time period from 2025-26 to 2029-30. So this will be the timeline of the National Monetization Plan 2.0. That from 25 to 2030, we have to get asset monetization of near about 16.72 lakh crore rupees. That is the aim. No, government will not be getting. See, remember this part. National Highway Authority of India. Basically, this means government. This basically means government. So, NHI will demand 1 lakh crore rupees. Let's say there is Tata Industries. Tata Industries has given this to government कि चलो भाई आप पैसे ले लो 1 लाख करोड़, अगले 10 साल तक हम यहाँ पे टोल कलेक्ट करेंगे. That you can take away this 1 lakh crore rupees. Now we will be collecting the toll for the next 10 years. So that is how it works. That is how it works, that we are monetizing the asset. We are monetizing the asset. Now see this one part. Like in this NMP 1.0, what we see that there was achievement of 89 of its target, around 5.3 lakh crore rupees. Around 5.3 lakh crore rupees was collected by the government in the first phase. In NMP 1, there was collection of 5.3 lakh crore rupees. Government has a target of near about 6 lakh crore. Government had a target of near about 6 lakh crore. Government was able to get 5.3 lakh crore rupees in this plan 1. Okay. So this is one part. Highway, coal, mines, petroleum, natural gas, port. These were the major sectors in which there was asset monetization. These were the major sectors which has got the asset monetization in the plan 1. Now in the second plan, there will be focus. Like there will be focus on road, railway, power, oil, gas, civil aviation, port, telecom, coal, mines. These are the areas where there will be major focus, from road, railways to power to oil and gas, civil aviation, port, telecom, coal and mines. Okay. So this is the part where we will see that there will be a focus on monetizing the assets of these areas, of these sectors. So that is the NMP 2.0 National Monetization Pipeline. Government will generate revenue and then it will be investing it in other sectors. तो गवर्नमेंट इस तरीके से पैसे बना रही है. Okay. Now, coming to the next part, HPV. HPV vaccination. There is one thing called as human papilloma virus. Human papilloma virus. What do you know about this? इसके बारे में आप सभी लोग क्या जानते हो? There is one thing called as human papilloma virus. So what do you know about this virus? क्या क्या मालूम है आपको इसके बारे में? HPV, human papilloma virus. What do you know about this one? What it causes? किसको impact करता है? Who are impacted because of this virus? Women. No, it is not responsible for breast cancer. It is responsible for cervical cancer. Okay. Cancer in cervix. It is responsible for cancer in cervix of women, which is also called as cervical cancer. Which is also called as the cervical cancer. This is the second major. This is the second major cancer. This is the second major cancer among women. Among women in India. So this is the second major cancer among women in India, and what we see that this human papilloma virus, this is something which is vaccine preventable. Vaccine preventable means with the help of vaccine, we can easily prevent the cause of this cancer. We can easily tackle this virus with the help of a vaccine. So recently, the government of India, it has announced that the Gardasil vaccine. So this is something, this will be targeting, this will be a free of cost vaccine. This will be free of cost vaccine, and it will be provided to girls of 14 years of age. जो गर्ल्स 14 ईयर की एज में है उनको स्पेशली टारगेट करता है. Why? Because this is most effective. This is most effective in this age group. ज्यादातर ये 14 ईयर्स के एज ग्रुप में इफेक्टिव है. So it will be targeting the girls of age 14. The government has said that it will be voluntary. ये mandatory नहीं है. This will be voluntary. Will be voluntary. It will be free of cost. Okay. So it is going to focus. This Gardasil vaccine. It is going to focus on the 14 years of age of girls. Okay. So girls of 14 years of age. It will be voluntary for all and will be provided free of cost. So government is coming with this one strategy. Government is coming with this one strategy in order to tackle the human papilloma virus and the cervical cancer cases among women in India. This is the second major cause of cancer in India. So now there is just one interesting part. Gardasil is one such vaccine which is going to be used. But this is not indigenous vaccine. This is not an indigenous vaccine. If we talk about the indigenous vaccine, we are having Servavac. Okay. We are having this Servavac. It was waiting for a very long period of time. It was waiting for a very long period of time that it is going to be used for national immunization program. So Sarvavac was waiting for this, ये तो हमें ही टेंडर मिलेगा, we will be using this, we will be getting this. But Sarvavac remained waiting और Gardasil को contract मिल गया. So Sarvavac, Sarvarix, they are some of the prominent indigenous vaccines, but they did not get the opportunity. So they are also like vaccines for, they are also the vaccines for the cervical cancer. But the winner is from United States. Okay. So Gardasil vaccine, it is of United States and they are the clear winner. They have got the option. I am not advertising. I am just telling you. This one was one vaccine which was waiting for it. Like there were so many news articles coming that this is the indigenous vaccine, this is the indigenous vaccine. But then this vaccine was not approved for indigenous use. What we see that there is in fact use of Gardasil, a US based vaccine for HPV in India. Not advertising, I am just like telling you the story. While we are talking about indigenous things, while we are talking about indigenous vaccines, even in our programs, even in our vaccination programs, there is little focus on the indigenous one. I am good, Nilu. I hope you are also doing well. Okay, that is our HPV vaccine and Gardasil. Now, coming to this one thing, Khejri trees. This is there in the news. Why? Okay. There is a ban, like there was agitation, there was like a protest. There was a protest from Bishnoi community. There was a protest from Bishnoi community. Why? Why this protest was there? This is like against cutting off Khejri trees. So Khejri tree is one of the native species. This is native species of Rajasthan. This is a native species of tree of Rajasthan. And in fact, you will find that this one is also the state tree of Rajasthan. State tree of Rajasthan. तो अभी क्या था कि there was cutting off the Khejri trees. People started protesting against this. So now finally we see that there is a ban on cutting off. Now there is a ban on cutting off Khejri trees. So that's why this has again come up in the news. बस आपको याद रखना है कि खेजरी ट्री इज अ स्टेट ट्री ऑफ राजस्थान. ये बस एक पार्ट है जिसको आपको याद रखना है. दिस इज द ऑफिशियल स्टेट ट्री ऑफ राजस्थान. इट इज पार्ट ऑफ द डेजर्ट इकोसिस्टम. इट इज पार्ट ऑफ द डेजर्ट इकोसिस्टम ऑफ राजस्थान. राजस्थान की मरुभूमि का एक इंपॉर्टेंट कंपोनेंट है. So this is one Khejri tree. So Rajasthan has become quite active in matters of environment these days. Rajasthan has been quite much active in matters of environment these days. We have seen there were protests for Aravalis also. There has been protest for like cutting of Khejri trees also. So you should take some like inspiration from there. You should be taking some inspiration from there. Khejri is the name of the tree. Khejri is the name of the tree. Let me show you this. We have this Khejri tree. You can see this is the Khejri plant. This is the Khejri plant which is there. Khejri plant is there. It looks like this. This is the Khejri plant. So Khejri plant is there. Khejri plant is there, and there was a protest. Why? Because it was being cut down. So इसी के लिए there was protest, and now finally there is a ban on it. There is another part, Kerala state. So Kerala is changing its name. Last year there was a resolution for this. The legislative assembly of Kerala was demanding this, that the name of a state should be changed to Keralam. The name of a state should be changed to Keralam. So this is the name in Malayalam. This is the name in Malayalam. Okay. This is the name in the Malayalam language. So Keralam is the name which is used for Kerala in Malayalam language. So now what we see? Now we see that the union government has accepted this. Okay. Union government has accepted this, and as part of this, under Article 3 of the Constitution, you may be aware about this, under the Article 3 of the Constitution, change in the name or boundary of the state can be done by the Parliament of India. So this is something which is going to be introduced in the Parliament. So there is a new bill which is going to come. It will be Kerala Alteration of Name Bill 2026. Kerala Alteration of Name Bill 2026. First, it is going to be referred to the Legislative Assembly of Kerala. Then again, after getting the view from there, this will be brought up in the Parliament, and then when it is passed, the name of Kerala will officially become Keralam. So now the name changes there. Kerala is going to become Keralam. It is like, is there any reason behind this for changing it? It is in Malayalam language. In Malayalam, Kerala is called as Keralam. And you know that Malayalam is the major language of Kerala. So they want the name to be in their own local language. यूपी का भी चेंज होना चाहिए. चलो, आपके हिसाब से क्या नाम होना चाहिए उत्तर प्रदेश का? What name would you suggest for उत्तर प्रदेश? क्या क्या नाम सजेस्ट कर रहे हो? और किसको किसको अपना नाम चेंज करवाना है? Anyone else who want to change their state name? Why Keralam? Keralam अभी just explain किया. It is called as Keralam in Malayalam language. It is called as Keralam in Malayalam language. That's why they want the name change from Kerala to Keralam. यूपी का क्यों नहीं? मीन्स मैं खुद से नहीं बोल रहा हूं. देयर वाज अ डिमांड फ्रॉम दीपक दैट यूपी का भी चेंज होना चाहिए. So that's why I'm saying that if you have any suggestion for UP, just put it there. I will forward your name to the respective authorities in Awadhi language. तो अवधी लैंग्वेज में क्या होगा बताओ तो. जय महाराष्ट्र. I have a unique name, Jammu and Kashmir. I don't want to change. Okay? बिहार का भी नाम चेंज करवा दीजिए. बिहार का नाम चेंज नहीं हो सकता. बिहार इज वन स्टेट जिसका नाम चेंज नहीं हो सकता. इफ यू गो टू चेंज द नेम ऑफ बिहार, देयर विल बी चेंज इन द गवर्नमेंट. So Bihar is one state. If you want to change the name of the state, there will be change in the union government itself. Union government change हो जाएगी. Don't go for changing the name of Bihar. Now, coming to the next part. Class of CA, not of politics. Anyway, we are not doing politics. We're just talking about it. मगध नाम. चलो, कोई बात नहीं. So let's see this one part, Data Act and the right to information. We are going to talk about this Data Act and the right to information. So what is this matter all about? Okay. See, there is this digital personal data protection rule. Digital personal data protection rule. Now this digital personal data protection rule, what it is saying, it is making a change. It is making a change in RTI Act. Now just see this one thing. What it is doing, the DPDP Act, the Digital Personal Data Protection Act, this is making a change in RTI Act. This is making a change in RTI Act. And what is the change? The change is this, that in no condition, it says that in no condition, the personal data of a person is going to be shared with anyone. That under no conditions, it says that, basically it says this one part. Okay. If you look at this, it says that this DPDP amends section 81J of the RTI Act. Section 44(3) of the DPDP Act, it is amending the section 81J of the RTI Act. And what it does, it is providing a blanket exemption to any information which relates to personal information without any exception. So it says that no personal information is going to be shared for any person. That no personal information is going to be shared of any person. Now see this one interesting part. अब आपको लगेगा कि this is very good, that the personal data is not being shared. The personal data is not being shared, so this is quite good. This is a very strong step. So if we go by the letter of this law, it may seem that it is doing a very good thing. But then here comes the challenge. Under the RTI Act, this provision ensured that if there is a corrupt officer, then the details of the asset of that corrupt officer is also going to be made public. So under the RTI Act, under this RTI Act, there is a provision. Under this RTI Act, there is a provision that the assets, the wealth of the officers, are made public. If there is a public official, if a person is there in public life, he may be a IAS, IPS, any leader. So their assets are declared. But under this DPDP Act, now it is made sure that the personal details related to any person will not be divulged in any case. So it means now their assets and all other information are not going to be provided. So in fact, it is not strengthening the privacy. It is in fact putting a blanket ban in the name of privacy. उस हिसाब से तो फिर हमें कभी ये मालूम ही नहीं चलेगा कि if there is a public official, if they have been indulging in corrupt practices, then with the help of RTI, we will not be aware about any of their assets or anything. So this is one part. It says that, it simply says that it may be there, that it seems like it is to protecting the fundamental right, but we see that like this is like making them immune from any scrutiny, that no one can see their assets, no one can see how much they have they have got with corruption and everything. So this is one of the major challenge, that we are saying that in order to protect the privacy and the fundamental rights, we are saving their personal information. But on the other hand, the RTI says that if you are in public life, then of course you have to declare your assets. So that is why this debate is there. So now we see that there is a case against this in Supreme Court. Supreme Court has transferred it to the constitutional bench. तो बस सिंपल सा ऑर्डर नहीं आने वाला है. There is going to be a constitutional bench for this. It is going to settle it for good. If there is a constitutional bench for this, so this matter is going to be settled for good, whether this DPDP is violating the basic spirit of right to privacy, or is it like the right to freedom of expression, is it being harmed because of this? यहाँ पे challenge क्या है? On one side we have right to privacy. On one side we have the right to privacy, and on other side we have right to freedom of expression. दो rights में अब fight है. There is on one side right to privacy and on the other side right to freedom of speech and expression. RTI is coming under this right to freedom of speech and expression. RTI comes as part of right to freedom of speech and expression. Why? You can express yourself only and only when you have the right information. आप तभी express कर सकते हो when you are having the right information. So when you are not having the information, how you are going to express yourself? On the other hand, there is a right to privacy also, that the personal information of a person has not to be divulged. So that is one interesting case which is building up. देखो अभी इसको नोट भी मत करना, अभी इसको as it is रहने देना, बस इसके बारे में मैंने आपको इन्फॉर्म किया है कि there is this one development which is going on. So once there is some judgment on it, then we will discuss about this. But right now just leave it here. हाँ, there is a debate which is going on, DPDP Act versus right to private versus right to information act. Sir, please exempt IAS. क्यों भाई IAS को क्यों exempt करना है? Because IAS, those people who are becoming IAS, they are passing in ethics paper, इसलिए उनको exempt कर दे. हाँ, तो डोंट मेक नोट ऑफ दिस पार्ट, डेटा एक्ट वर्सेस आरटीआई. बाकी जो पोर्शंस है उसको नोट कर लेना. द पीडीएफ विल बी देयर ऑन KGSIS टेलीग्राम चैनल. द पीडीएफ इज गोइंग टू बी देयर ऑन KGSIS टेलीग्राम चैनल. तो नोट डाउन ऑल द रिमेनिंग 4 पोर्शंस, इसको छोड़ देना. तो कुमार श्यामो, व्हाई टू एग्जेम्प्ट IAS? उन्होंने एथिक्स की किताब पढ़ी है इसलिए. सर ये सब कॉन्स्पिरेसी हमारा सिलेबस बढ़ाने के लिए है. ओके, so that will be all for today. So these are the 5 topics which we have discussed for today. Sorry, 6 topics which we have discussed for today. First topic was International Energy Agency, then National Monetization Pipeline, HPV vaccine, Khejri tree, Kerala. तो ये 5 को आप नोट कर सकते हो. Just understand this part कि what is going on in Data Act versus RTI. सर UPPCS का करंट अफेयर्स UPSC के करंट अफेयर्स से डिफरेंट है. यस अंशिका, स्लाइटली डिफरेंट. Although this year in 2020-25, some of the students who have appeared in the examination, they have told me that 10 questions of current affairs were from our classes. 10 questions of current affairs are from our class. But there are some other current affairs which are related to UP. One time labor law. देखो, why we are not discussing Kumar Shamu labor law? Because there is no clarity. Even after so many reforms, there is a lack of clarity with respect to labor law. कोई बात नहीं. Making mistakes is the new way of learning. When you make the mistakes, you learn more and more. So solve more papers. Till the time you bring that to 2 wrong answers or 7 wrong answers, keep on working on. Thank you everyone. Take care and all the best.